Let's start off with Man City. They're unbeaten in 43 games with Rodri in the team and have lost all 4 games that they've played without him this season, including the cup competitions. The City boss Pep Guardiola spoke after their defeat again last night and said they cannot use key players' absence as an excuse for not winning games recently.
It's always happened when you lose games. Always we miss the players that are not here, so we have to do it without them. So many years here, we miss a lot of important players during the season, and always we found a way, to win in games, play normally well, and when you do play well, to find the tempo to do it. And now we are playing good against Liverpool. Even Chelsea scored 4 goals, or Liverpool is playing good, and we are not able to win. And before in that situation, we were able to do it. And after, of course, the situations. Go what it is, and so congratulations to Aston Villa. They make a fantastic game.
Let me ask you some questions about Man City. We'll talk about Aston Villa as well. Mm-hmm. Question number 1, is it impossible this season, in your mind, for Man City to finish outside the top 4?
Yes.
Okay. Are they still favourites for the Premier League, Man City?
Yeah.
6 points behind first place Arsenal?
Yeah, I think so.
They are?
Yeah, but do you know what it is? If we were having the same discussion and the table sat as it did now and we were in February, then my answer might be different. But because there's so much time left and knowing what they're like at that time of year, I'm not ruling them out. On
last night's show, you asked me at the end of it how I think they'll get on. I said Aston Villa win 2-1. And you went, oh, clip it. So I got the score wrong, but I fancied a home win, right? Yeah. They were outstanding. We'll talk about Aston Villa in just a moment. But there was always that thing with Manchester United, certainly at home in the 90s and early 90s, that they would beat every team before even a ball was kicked in the tunnel. And then all of a sudden, recently, actually, in the last 10 years, that sort of that air of unbeatableness, if you like, about Manchester United
evaporated,
has disappeared.
Yeah, completely.
And now everyone fancies their chances against them, right? Whether or not they win or not, it remains to be seen. Is that starting to fade with Man City?
No,
not at all.
No, it's too early for that. It's too early for that. But listen, I think certain teams now are starting to understand the fact that if you wait and try and keep it tight, and inevitably they're too good of a team to just sit there and you defend, and then they'll unlock you at some point. So I think a lot of teams nowadays are thinking, well, rather than wait to get beat by Manchester City, because the likelihood is we'll get beat, go and have a go. Start flooding men forward, cause them problems, make them defend. And I think you're seeing now more and more teams are starting to do that, and which is why they're starting to get more results, because it always used to be, certainly when I was playing against the top sides, and Manchester United at that time were one of the best sides, our managers would always say, right, it's what we're going to do. We're going to bank in 2 banks of 4, 2 centre forwards drop in, and we're going to be really tight, not going to give much space away. But you're almost waiting to get beat, because at some stage with the players that you've got, they're going to unlock the door. Someone will pick a pass, someone will make a run. They've got that quality that you just can't sit there for 90 minutes on the edge of your own box. Teams now are thinking, well, rather than do that, have a go. Flood men forward, because when you make them defend, they're like anyone else. They're vulnerable. There's gaps. Because they flood so many men forward, there's gaps. You can beat them.
I mentioned there going into that piece of audio that the 3 games they've lost this season, it was, I think, Arsenal, Villa and Wolves. There's been no Rodri. We've talked about Haaland, we've talked about Kevin De Bruyne. Is he the most important player?
Yeah, I think you'd say so. Because him as an anchor, protecting that back 4, it's almost like... that role has become so important over the years. And obviously, what springs to mind, first of all, we had McElhenney, who was the king at it. And look how successful he was. Then the Busquets, obviously Spain. Kante, though. When you look at Kante at Leicester, they win the Premier League, which is an anomaly. It goes to Chelsea. They win the Premier League the very next year.
World Cup.
The World Cup, he wins the World Cup, I think the next year or the same year. That role is so important. And Rodri right now is the best in the world at that particular role. Just gives that protection to the back 4. And I bet the centre-halves, Akanji, Stones, Diaz, when they look in front of them and they see him there, they feel more comfortable because they know he's there. So he's a big, big miss for them, as well as De Bruyne.
We'll take calls on Man City, 03717223324, and just how important Rodri is. A quick word about Aston Villa. We'll talk more about Aston Villa in just a moment, so Villa fans don't say, oh, we won the game. We'll talk about you, don't worry. A couple of questions. They're 3rd now in the Premier League. They're 4 points off Arsenal. We talk about Arsenal, they can win the Premier League. We talk about Liverpool, they can win the Premier League. Man City, we talk about they can win the Premier League. Can Aston Villa win the Premier League?
No, I think it's a step too far for Villa. But
Why?
I just think Arsenal were so close, so they've got the experience of last season.
Who's got a better manager? Arsenal?
Yeah.
I'm not being facetious here.
No, Unai Emery. But Arsenal got better players. So I think Arsenal will finish above Aston Villa.
Okay. Aston Villa cannot win the Premier this season.
I'm not saying they cannot win it, because we've seen Leicester do it.
No, but you know what I mean.
I don't think they will. But top 4, that has got to be a realistic aim now. They've given themselves an unbelievable chance. And also, if you're looking at Aston Villa winning the title, they've got to pick up their away form. I know they're not bad. I think they're 8th. They're currently 8th in away tables.
Yeah, their away form is dreadful.
But they're the best at home. But if they can sort out that way for them, then they've got a great chance. But I think certainly top 4, they've got to be one of the favourites.
Okay, just quickly, top 4 at the moment is Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa and Man City. You've got Spurs outside it, you've got Man United outside it, you've got Newcastle outside it.
Why are you mentioning United for?
Are you joking?
No,
3 points off Man
doesn't
City.
matter. See, one game, you win one game, hold on your back.
Hold on. Man United can't get top 4?
I don't think you will.
Okay, give me your top 4.
It's difficult.
Give me your top 4.
As it is.
Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City.
Villa.